Hello there, guys. Well, we got a lot to get to today. I mean, every time I do a live, I always think to myself, am I going to have enough information for the next live? And there's always more information. I'm going to wait till somebody pops up so that I can know that I'm public. Oh, there we go. Hello there. Hello there. I'm glad you guys are here. Well, there's so much to get to. Okay, there is so much to get to. What I like to do is I like to gather up a lot of the stuff and kind of condense it so that you guys, because there's a lot of information around there and everybody can't do Michael full time all the time. So I try to gather up as many facts, as much proof, and as much evidence to support Michael Jackson as I possibly can, so that if you just have an hour at home, you work or whatever, that you can get as much as you can by watching my live. So be sure to like and to subscribe. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube right now, go ahead and press the subscribe button, okay? Because we got a long way to go. Okay, just real quick. There is a hearing tomorrow, okay, in Santa Monica. And guess what? I live 40 minutes from Santa Monica. Well, when there's no traffic. So in the morning, it's at 8:30, Santa Monica Courthouse. It's the HBO hearing where the estate is suing HBO. It's called an ex parte hearing, which is kind of like a hearing where the judge hears one person's side, and it's like an expedited hearing, like an emergency hearing. Like you can bypass the line, and you can like take cuts, and you can get heard by a judge much sooner. So I am going tomorrow. I'm thinking about going to Santa Monica tonight and renting a hotel room. And the reason why I'm thinking about that, even though it's kind of expensive, well, it depends on how much it costs, is because in the morning, it'll take me 3 hours to get there because LA traffic is horrendous. I would have to leave here at like 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning to get there in time for 8:30. So I'm not sure, but I'm going to be there tomorrow, and hopefully I'll go live, okay? I'll go live right from outside the courthouse because you can't have cameras in the courthouse. So outside the courthouse, I will go live, okay, guys, and let you know what happened. I'm just gonna hang up that phone. No one. Okay, so you guys keep making me pull out all kinds of shirts of mine. See this shirt? Isn't it cute? Isn't it adorable? Because I want you guys to say, oh, she was wearing the green shirt or she was wearing the red shirt, so that you can remember which video I said what with. Okay. Lots of stuff, okay? I'm gonna start with James. No, I'm gonna start with my video, okay? How I predicted. Okay. This video I did January 9th is a live video that I did on January 9th. Okay. Here we go. It's January 9th. I did this video, and it was the first video once we discovered that there was a documentary coming out. It was called Leaving Neverland, and it was going to appear at the Sundance Film Festival, and we weren't even quite sure who was going to be in it at that time. The first reports, it was 2 men, so I guessed it was James Safechuck and Wade Robson. Okay, now I queued this up because I want you guys to hear something that I had predicted. Okay, here we go. Robeson's attorneys for 5 years, from 2013 to 2017, could not get enough information to bring it to trial. Got dismissed. Robeson, the girl who said that Michael molested her because they did an ollie oxen free. Okay, when Wade came out and he said that he was molested, there was all kinds of press that said, if Michael molested you, come out now or forever hold your peace. Come out now or forever hold your peace. Okay, so then we got James Safechuck, and then we got some girl. Okay, the girls was just so ridiculous. Some canceled check that never panned out, and who knows. But hers got dismissed quickly. And then Safechuck got dismissed because Michael took him with him shopping for jewelry, and he said Michael was going to buy him a ring. Okay. Okay. Now I knew, I got to turn my fan on, right? So my phone doesn't get too hot. Okay. Now I knew that there was going to that was going to be in there because I knew there was footage out there of Wade going shopping with of James Safechuck going shopping with Michael, and I knew it had something to do with a wedding ring, right? And I knew that was going to be in there, and I knew it was going to be used because there was paparazzi footage of it. So I had predicted that, right? So let me tell you how ridiculous that story is. We're going to go through it because now the footage of that has been released, okay? And it's in the tabloids right now as some kind of proof that Michael really did buy that stupid big size ring with the Cahatley diamonds. For you guys that don't know what Cahatley is, Cahatley-Seam diamonds. Cahatley-Seam diamonds, right? With the Cahatley diamonds. And then some other little pieces of jewelry. Personally, I think he went and bought this at a pawn shop afterwards to up his case, to add credibility to his case. I don't believe that he would keep a box of trinkets from a molester for 30 years. It just doesn't seem possible to me, okay? But anyway, so let's go ahead, and I have queued up when Oprah asked the question about Wade and his marriage ceremony. Now, why didn't he keep the vows, right? If Michael wrote up some vows, why didn't he keep that? Where is that at, right? Of course, that would be proof it was in Michael's handwriting. And Michael's handwriting can be forged. I've seen it, okay? It can be forged. Like Michael Jacobs Hagen, he forged Michael's writing on a lot of stuff. And even that stupid book that Michael never gave him. He is a complete fraud and just out to get paid for interviews because he asked me to pay him. And he asked me to interview him. Then he asked me to pay him to interview him when he asked me to interview him. So I know he's out there making money telling lies about Michael out in Germany. And so he is a non sequitur. He is just ridiculous out there. Okay, but let's get back to James and the ring. Now, this is Oprah, okay? I have this queued up. Here is Oprah, okay? And she is asking about the stupid ring. And I want you to pay attention to James and his laughing. He almost cannot hold the laugh in. He almost can't.
It was such a striking moment when you said in the film, James, that you had a marriage ceremony with Michael Jackson with rings and handwritten vows. And once you said vows, you feel completely complicit, did you not?
Yeah, that moment was part of him, telling me that we'll be together forever. Mm-hmm. And it was an action to sort of solidify our...
I can barely listen to this, okay? But did you guys see? He almost couldn't contain himself. He almost busted out laughing because it's so ridiculous, and he knows it's ridiculous. And it's ridiculous that he has made it this far and is being interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, the interview queen, after their fairy tale fantasy child porno film has aired on HBO and is going to be airing worldwide and has a worldwide distributor. He cannot believe that it's still going on. And that all the, because he wants to be a star. You got to remember he was a child actor, okay? He wants to be a star. So he almost started busting out laughing because he knows it's not true. Okay, so we got that. Now let's take a look at that paparazzi footage, okay? Let's take a look at that paparazzi footage now, okay? Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera on. Okay. There we go. Okay, here we go. No, come on. I wish I would have learned editing, because, there we go. Okay, so here's the article, and it says, it's Yahoo Entertainment. That's huge. Okay, video resurfaces of Michael Jackson shopping for wedding rings with boy. Okay, now, there's two of these. I knew there were two because Teresa sent it to me. Teresa Bruner sent me this when it came out, and I knew that they existed, and I had told her, I said, girl, there's another one too. Okay, so Michael goes shopping, and they're very short. Let me see. I'm going to just go ahead and play them, okay? Play the videos. Come on. video. There we go. There we go. I don't want it to, but anyway, he went shopping. Come on, don't hourglass too much. Okay, here we're gonna go right to YouTube now, since it's gonna do me like that. We're gonna go straight to YouTube, and we're gonna see who uploaded it and the date it was uploaded. Okay, you know, the thing is that when you don't start your computer, it runs out of memory, and I have so many things saved for you guys. I have so many things saved for you guys. So I'm just hoping that this does not embarrass me. And I can't. Okay, here we go, and it's a minute and 20 seconds, and but anyway, it's supposed to be a wedding ring for Sheryl Crow. Okay, here we go.
Yesterday, it got him into some trouble. Michael Jackson may be a smooth character in his music videos, but he didn't look too good yesterday when shopping for rings at a Simi Valley, California jewelry store. He also shopped at a nearby gift store that caught the shady disguise on hidden camera before he was stopped by security guards suspicious of his phony-looking mustache.
That was, I thought it was about as cheap as you can get. It was kind of crooked. You had to keep straightening up, and then of course you had the wig on and the teeth, and the disguise worked. He'd be the last person that we would consider Michael Jackson.
The guard said Michael complained the get-up was necessary to avoid being mobbed, but that he was very cooperative when questioned.
I said, why are you disguising yourself? He said, I'm Michael Jackson. I said, yeah, you're Michael Jackson. He said, really, I am. He said, see, I have false teeth. So he put his teeth down. He says, I have a wig on. He put his hair up. And I saw his natural hair, and that was straight coming apart. And I knew then that was him. And I saw, this is the Michael Jackson.
So what was Michael Jackson doing in a jewelry store? This week's edition of Star Magazine says he's shopping for a wedding ring. The story says Michael plans to marry Sheryl Crow, one of his backup singers. Recognize this lady from her high school pictures.
Okay, all right, so we see that. So I guess the excuse was that he was gonna marry Sheryl Crow. So I know Michael and Sheryl were supposed to have something, but I guess we need to talk to Sheryl Crow. But anyway, and media gets it wrong all the time. So Michael was shopping, who knows what, you know, somebody could have just made that up. We don't know. And then James is so conveniently gonna say, we would say that it was for a woman, and it was really for me. Okay. Now, this is the real reason why Michael Jackson hung around little kids and took them with him as a distraction. Michael was gawked at. Okay, he was gawked at when he would go somewhere. If he didn't have bubbles to kind of take his attention away from being gawked at, he felt very uncomfortable. He felt very awkward, because when somebody's just staring at you and you don't know what to do. So Michael used bubbles, he used friends, he used little kids in order to have something to do that distract them so people wouldn't come up to him all the time. Okay. Here in this video, this is another angle to Michael's diversion and distraction. Let's watch this one. Okay.
Was detained in a jewelry store for being a suspicious character. He told them who he was. They didn't believe him because he didn't look anything like a rock idol. Here's what happened. If you are Michael Jackson, you cannot walk around in public. You'll be mobbed. But sometimes even Jackson wants to go shopping, so he wears a disguise. And that's exactly what he did when he went into this shopping mall in Simi Valley, California. Jackson was in a Zales jewelry store with a 12-year-old friend on Monday pricing rings. The sales clerk at Zales noticed a suspicious character who seemed to be wearing a disguise. The disguised shopper asked a few questions, then went into another store where he was caught on a surveillance video camera. By the time he got back to Zales, mall security and Simi Valley police were on hand to unmask the suspicious shopper. Jackson immediately identified himself and told the officers he wears the disguise when in public to avoid being mobbed. Of course, this is not the first time Jackson has been seen in disguise. He's often been spotted in New York City or when on tour in various costumes. Finally, security believed Jackson. He signed a few autographs and went on his way. And And with us now via satellite from Southern California is Roberta Lohman, who works at Zales. Roberta, thank you very much for coming on today. Tell me what you thought about this whole thing. It must have been pretty funny out there having Michael Jackson.
It was funny, but it was also a little bit frightening. I mean, if he would have been wearing his glove, we would have known who he was.
Who did you think he was when he walked in?
I just thought he was somebody who was casing the store, actually.
You thought he was a robber?
Right, because he had on a disguise and he kept adjusting his mustache in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you finally learned it was Michael Jackson, what was your reaction?
I felt like a fool.
Did he tell you he was Jackson and you didn't believe him?
No, he never said anything to me. It was actually at with the security guard that was there. He was the one who said, "Why are you wearing a false mustache?" And he said, "I have to, I'm in disguise." He says, "I'm Michael Jackson."
Now, how did Jackson react when he was detained by the security guards?
He was polite. He was very polite. I don't believe it bothered him at all.
Do you think he was nervous that he might have to go down to the police station? Because I know you had the police there as well.
He was very nervous, even in the store. That's what tipped off my manager to something was wrong, because he acted very, very nervous.
Describe that for me. I mean, I'm never going to see Michael Jackson walking around in a store. I mean, was he jumpy, or what was it like?
He just reacted very nervously. He never said anything to me. He was with a small boy, and he would tell the small boy exactly what he wanted to see.
Oh, I see. So when he was, when you were showing him jewelry, he wouldn't talk to you. The small boy was the interpreter.
Right, because I probably would have recognized his voice as soon as he said something.
Ah, that's very interesting. After this whole thing happened, did Jackson give you an autograph, or how did he react after that?
He gave the security guard an autograph, and we took it into the store, and we photocopied it, so we all got one.
Are you a fan of his?
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, it must have been a very interesting day out there in Simi Valley, and we appreciate you coming on with us, Roberta.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Okay, now did you guys hear that? The part where, let me put my phone, St. Patty's Day. I think St. Patrick's Day, so I got green butterflies. So if you order the Alive trilogy, you'll get a green butterfly. I only have a limited amount of the green ones. Okay, here we go. Turn my camera around. Okay, did you guys hear that? The most important thing, Michael knew people would disguise his voice, so he brought the little boy with him so he can be the interpreter, okay? So that Michael wouldn't have to talk, okay? Michael he wouldn't have an adult at his beck and call to just hang out with him all day and do silly boy things and stuff like that. So he hung around with kids because he wanted to do silly boy things, and he needed a distraction, and he needed someone to interpret for him, so that when he was in disguise, you would not know that it was him, and you would not know that it's his voice. Okay? Now this has been misconstrued into this whole fantasy fairy tale. Okay? Now people sit there and they tell us defenders of Michael Jackson that we are pedophile protectors. Well, if you believe Wade and James, aren't they the pedophile protectors? When they had a chance to say something, they did not. Up until a few years after Michael was announced dead. For Wade, it was 4 years after, and for James, it was 5 years after Michael was announced dead. So when they went to court and they were questioned by the police, and they were questioned by the DA, and they were questioned by attorneys, and they were questioned by investigators, they protected the pedo, right? They protected him. So don't call us fans that support Michael and want to get out the truth and want to make sure that the other side of that one-sided documentary, and Starbucks has now added to the list, where they're not playing Michael's music. I mean, this is bad. HBO is going to owe Michael, I swear, it's probably going to be $1 billion case, okay? Because Michael has made almost $3 billion since the death announcement. And he had a Broadway show that was supposed to open in Chicago, and it has to be postponed, and they were supposed to do something bigger at the Grammys, and they didn't, and there's supposed to be a Motown special where they're minimizing the Jackson 5, and all kinds of terrible stuff is going on to mess with Michael's money and his legacy. But anyway, until this fantasy, so the pedo protectors aren't us fans. It is the two people that you want to believe talking in front of a camera in a child porno film that's really a fantasy where you're using family members as if they're witnesses when they didn't witness anything. Okay? No, us fans rather believe the FBI who investigated Michael starting way back in 1992 all the way up to the death announcement, okay? Which is 2009. We rather believe the 13-week trial verdict where a jury sat there 5 days a week for 13 weeks and heard all the evidence and gave Michael 14 out of 14 acquittals. We rather listen to them. We rather listen to the LAPD and the LA district attorney who refused to file charges on Michael. We rather listen to 2 grand juries in the 93 case who refused to indict Michael Jackson. We rather listen to the Child and Family Services who had investigated it and found Michael not guilty. That's who we rather listen to. Not 2 guys who claimed for 25 years that Michael Jackson never molested them. Okay? That's who we rather believe. So if you guys who believe that fantasy child porno film, not documentary, film, that we have found numerous lies, and I'm going to name some more, okay, then they are your pedo protectors because they had opportunities to do something to stop the pedophile, and did not. They're the pedo protectors, not us. We're out to seek truth, and we're out to make sure Michael's other side of the story is heard. Okay, there's more stuff. There's more info. Okay. So I'm glad that we got that out, right? That was good. And because Michael just wanted somebody to interpret for him. That's why he hung out. And James is from Simi Valley. So it is possible, even though you can't make out who is the little boy in the film. But since James is from Simi Valley, and we know that James and Michael were buddies, okay, in '89, then yeah, that makes sense. But the ring part and all that stuff, he just put that in there because he knew that this paparazzi footage was out there. He knew it. Okay. Now, why it didn't make the documentary is I don't know. I don't know why it didn't make the documentary. So, but that will surface. Okay, that will surface why they did not include this footage that James knew existed in Leaving Neverland. Maybe they couldn't get rights to it. Maybe the person who owns it asked for too much money. But you would have the money since you're not paying James and Wade. You should have plenty of money, okay? Plenty of money to pay for footage, okay? I believe James and Wade are getting paid through their family members, they're getting paid through their charity, or they're just getting paid straight out and they're just lying about it because they've lied about so much other stuff we really can't believe anything that comes out of their mouth. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera around. There's a lot of little stuff that I need to go through. Okay, Ron Newt. Okay, see this guy named Ron Newt? I knew him. Well, he called me in 2009 after Michael was announced dead. And I think he called me a couple times and we talked on the phone. And he told me that he was offered $200,000 to lie on Michael. I think he had 2 young boys and they were trying to be rap artists or artists and they wanted to sign to Michael's label, and they spent the night at Havenhurst. And spent time at Havenhurst, but Michael never, ever, ever molested them, okay? And he refused $200,000 that the media, the tabloid media, wanted to pay him to lie on Michael because there was a conspiracy to take Michael Jackson down, okay? He also told me that there was this woman that had a love child of Michael's, and when they broke up, she went crazy and she was in a crazy house. And I said, well, I can't report that story, and I didn't report that story, but TMZ did. So if you look back on a love child, and it's not Brandon Howard, you know, and if you want to know about Brandon, If you want, sorry about that. If you want to know about Brandon being Michael's love child, please watch my video. Scroll my YouTube channel and watch my videos, okay? But TMZ did pick up that story, so I got to go back and I got to, you know, look that up again, because I have some ideas about some things that I've learned since this interview and I forgot about it. Well, anyway, he was making the scenes, coming back to defend Michael, and he died yesterday. He died. Okay, because somebody, third party said it's copyright claim, but fans have already saved it. So I've already seen it. And in this video, in this interview podcast that Joy Robeson did, she downplayed her role with Michael. She said, Wade, he didn't work with Michael that much. He was in 3 of Michael's music videos. But she act like it was just a straight up, you know, business relationship, you know. And we've already, in one of my last videos, I showed you guys Wade and his mother in line waiting to get the History album, okay, and trying to get his attention by showing the camera a card and a note with hearts on it. Joey, she thought that Michael liked her, and she had a crush on Michael, okay. So and just like with June, okay, June, but Michael kind of liked June. Michael gave June a diamond bracelet, okay, and June and Michael kind of, you know, really liked each other. That's Jordy Chandler's mother, okay. So, and so anyway, it was taken down, but anyway, the fans had saved a copy, so we know now that as soon as we see something that we think is useful, we must save it, okay. We must save it. There's more stuff, okay, more stuff that we got to get to. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. I talked about the hearing. Okay. This is the court. This is the actual court case. The MJ estate versus HBO. This is the file. This is the court filing, and I'm going to refresh it to see if any more information has come up. And I told you guys, you know what? I'm going to have to go back in here, because after so much time, it closes and you can't get back on, okay. And you have to go back out and you have to get back in, okay. Here we go. And I had told you guys that there was a date of June 26th, which is the day after the 10th anniversary of the death announcement. Wonder if that's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of strange. And I told you guys about that, you know, weeks ago, but now it's officially on their site. Okay, so June 26th is another hearing. This is the ex parte hearing. An ex parte, what do they call it? Ex parte proceeding. That's tomorrow. That's where I'm going to be going to. And if there's any more documents, there's an ex parte declaration, an ex parte application. There is a notice of hearing on petition to compel public arbitration. Remember, this is arbitration. So there are more information on this website here, and so we got to keep up with it. But tomorrow I can't wait to go. Maybe I'll make myself an adventure and I'll go and I'll rent a hotel room and I'll take myself out to dinner. You know, Cecil works so much, so maybe he'll join me, I don't know. But anyway, I'll plan on doing that. Okay, well, there's more info, guys. Okay, there's more info that I have for you. Here we go. Oh yeah, this is the part with Starbucks, okay? How Starbucks, and the reason why I show you this so that I can give credit to the people who posted it, okay? And this is Starbucks, and they have stated that they are not playing Michael Jackson's music anymore, okay? How horrible is that in their stores? You know, thank you for making us aware. We can confirm there are currently no Michael Jackson songs on official Starbucks Spotify playlists. Would you mind sharing the store location so we can follow up? So I guess they got a complaint, okay? And people are believing words coming out of somebody's mouth, which is horrible. And it's jam-packed with lie after lie after lie, because I have a few more that I'm going to talk to. So Starbucks, guys, try to avoid going to Starbucks until they change their policy. Oh, yeah. And then Wade said, I'm going to turn my camera around and go over some lies. Now, I'm going to go back to the ring. I'm sorry, I have moved too fast from the ring situation. And in James's complaint, in James's, oh man, come on, turn around. Okay, continue. Yes, I want to continue broadcasting. Oh, there I am. Okay, so in James's complaint, okay, I found something in his complaint that's different than the ring. He said, why did I turn my camera around? Gosh. And now I need to turn around again because I got to show you guys the part of the, oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. This is part of James Safechuck's complaint. He said, I still have some jewelry he gave me after he abused me, including a necklace with a medallion that had Doe 1, which is Michael Jackson's face on it. So this is what he says when he talks about the jewelry. This is the end of a paragraph. Okay, including a necklace with a medallion he had. Where's the ring? That would be the most important thing. So why didn't he mention the ring in that? Okay. Also, this is a question and answer with Dan Greed, the director, the porno director. It says, you interviewed Wade over the course of 3 days. What about James? He said James was 2 days in February 2017, and then I did a pickup interview with him, the scene with the rings, last July. So I guess the director thought the story wasn't compelling enough, so they decided to include the ring, and maybe they went shopping. So if anybody's out there, pawn shops in LA, somewhere in the valley, because Simi Valley isn't that far from me. I can drive there in probably 30 minutes in another direction from Santa Monica, but I can drive to Simi Valley in about 30 minutes, okay? I wonder if he really went shopping and they added this ring portion later. I'm sorry I jumped around, guys. I should have put this with the other part, but you get my drift, right? So this was contrived. This was an afterthought because maybe the story needed a little bit more juice. So now let's add the marriage and let's add the wedding and let's add the ring in. Right? Because you would, at the minute of telling your molestation, right, the ring and the marriage would be like top of the list. That would be out like Michael molested me and we got married. Right? I mean, it would be right there, right after molesting. We even did a marriage ceremony. Okay? So for this to be an afterthought in his actual claim and in the movie, he's making it up. Michael brought him with him to go shopping for whatever reason, okay, so that he can be his interpreter, so Michael wouldn't have to use his voice. Gosh, that's what I mean. When I was in the 2005 trial, guys, there were so many things like this that may appear to be, oh, Michael, they got you. And then when you learn the truth, then you're like, oh, man, that's right. That makes perfect sense, you know? All right. Now, remember I told you guys about a woman caught in Michael Jackson's closet? And that's why he had to get the doorbell and he had to get the chimes, the alarm, the audio alarm that somebody was coming. I wonder if that female fan, what if that was an FBI agent undercover? And she just pretended like she was a fan because she got caught, because she got, how could a regular person, you know, because Neverland is, the gate that we see of Neverland, his property's like 5 miles in there. So once you pass that first gate, there's a long drive ahead to get to the actual residence. So nobody saw her and she's supposed to just be a fan? The only people that know how to do that kind of stuff and get all up in Michael's house and all up in his bedroom and all up in the closet would be an FBI agent. I just thought of that. Because you know they were trying to get cameras up in that room, because in his song this time around, he talks about cameras pointing in his face, flashlights, surveillance, bugs in his room. You know? That was an FBI agent, I bet you, undercover. And then she was young enough, probably one of the youngest looking FBI agents they could find. And for her to act innocent and act like she was a fan. I'm telling you guys, poor Michael, okay? Poor Michael. All right. Okay, there's more stuff. There's more stuff for us to get to. Okay, so let me get to some more stuff. Gosh, you know, I do so much of this. Also, here we go. There was James Safechuck also said that he was abused in L.A. he was abused in New York in 1989 after Michael finished performing at the Grammys. Well, in 1989, the Grammys were in LA and Michael didn't perform. I mean, see, they can't keep their lies straight. We're gonna get to some more lies too, okay?